Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show hosted by a basement dweller who grew up scrounging terrible fan subs on sketchy websites prior to the convenience of modern streaming, alongside a willfully ignorant soul whose only knowledge of anime comes from the shows forced upon him here. This show will contain spoilers, incorrect information, and copious amounts of adult language. Our hosts are not experts on any topic, and everything they say should be taken with a grain of salt. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I wonder, are you happy, sad, angry, or cuddly, man?
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
And Remington, I've got a very important question for you.
Yeah.
Seen any movies lately?
Have I seen any movies lately? I've seen a couple like miscellaneous documentaries lately. Maybe a shitty horror film or two, yeah.
Okay. But so nothing popular.
Yeah, no, let me put it this way. My watch habits have been exclusively on the second monitor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
So no prime monitor viewing.
Okay, understandable. And would you say that's kind of your methodology for movies, all the time?
Almost always. It's like either I'm with friends or I have it up on the second monitor, and then once in a blue moon, maybe once every month or two, I will watch a couple movies on the main screen and devote my actual attention to it. But it's rare. It's rare.
'Cause, Rem, I wanted to talk to you today about action movies specifically.
Ah, fucking hell.
Don't worry, Rem, we're not going to watch an action movie.
Thank God, because action movies fucking suck.
Generally speaking, I agree with you.
Look, if you like action movies, like, I get it, that's fine. They're nice, enjoyable, mindless fun. But they're just all the same, and let me put it this way. Almost all action movies are second monitor viewing, to continue with this. Like, you understand where it's going. There's rarely going to be anything meaningful or interesting or thoughtful. Maybe if it's an action thriller, then maybe you have a chance, but probably not.
So what would you consider to be a good action movie that is worthwhile? Like, actually willing to upgrade it from a secondary monitor position?
Well, Shaun, if I had to, just right off the top of my head, and definitely not by Googling best action movies and hoping for some inspiration here. Because I think one of the problems is, if it's a pure action movie, right, it's less interesting. Meanwhile, if it has emphasis on other qualities, then I could be more interested. If it were, like I mentioned, like action thriller, where it can be a little bit more suspenseful or mysterious, right? If it's action drama, if the drama is compelling enough, I'm interested. But I don't know. Okay. I can't think of like a proper, like, it's primarily an action movie that would be prime viewing for me, just watching on my own. Yeah, because even like if I were to watch like a Marvel movie or something, that would be secondary monitor as hell.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you count, here's one. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That was dope as fuck.
Okay.
It's dope as fuck. Even that, it's like has a lot of emphasis beyond action movie. And if you're like, hey, this is an action movie, some people would be like, sort of. But that's probably where I'm going. That is
okay.
The only one I can muster, so there's my answer.
Fair enough. Okay, follow-up question, Rem, because the reason I'm asking is because I have a specific movie in mind that I'd like to reference, and the anime community at large like to reference in regards to what we're going to watch today. Hey, Rem,
good luck.
Have you ever seen John Wick?
Okay, no, but I am familiar.
Okay.
You kill Keanu Reeves' dog, he kills you.
Very much so. And it is widely regarded as one of the most fun, violent, and exciting action flicks in recent years.
Oh, well, hell yeah. You know what? I'm just glad we're finally done with anime. We finished it all, and now we can move on to to non-anime content.
So you'd prefer to watch the movie where the dog dies. I see. Interesting
Hey,
choice,
listen here,
Rem.
you motherfucker.
I mean, hey, you're the one who said it. I just
Dogs die in anime too.
Yeah, they do. And I distinctly remember this exact argument being brought up against me at some point. Interesting how that happens, isn't it? But no, Rem, so what do you know about John Wick? Is it that it's just dude's dog dies and he goes on a killing spree? A properly justified killing spree, I might
Yeah,
say.
I mean that basically sums it up. Also, Shaun, I don't mean to be rude and interrupt the flow.
Okay.
And maybe this will be edited out or into a different spot, because it is a bit of a non sequitur.
Okay.
But I was browsing IMDb, right?
All right.
To pull up top action movies 2022. Created by this one dude.
Dr. Faustus, apparently.
Yes. And on other lists by Dr. Faustus, on IMDb, there's one all about Putin, and it's in depth about details about Putin and about Russian politics and about his allies in Russia. Once again, all just on IMDb for some reason.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it right now as well. What the fuck? Why?
Like every other thing they have is just a bunch of like top blank movies. And then they just have this shit on Vladimir Putin where it's like a Wikipedia page.
And it's very anti-Putin, which, I mean, hey, good for you, bud, but why IMDb?
Apologies to Putin, who, as we know, is a big fan of the show.
We're not going to apologize to Putin, man.
Yeah,
like, no, that ship is, like, even for joking, that ship has sailed, because the shit going on in Ukraine is, like, look, man, people use, hey, modern-day Hitler all around, but, like, you know.
Nonetheless, it's just weird to find it on IMDb.
It is very weird.
So I just thought I would briefly give that interlude because I was wildly confused.
He also called Avatar the top action movie.
I don't know what to tell you, Shaun.
Like,
they're a weird dude, apparently. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Mad Max Fury Road, I get. Avatar? I don't know, man.
Anyway, as you're saying, John Wick.
John Wick. Pretty straightforward show. Pretty simple. But the thing that makes John Wick so exciting is a lot of the choreography and action. And because
unfortunately, a lot of action shows and movies have really shitty choreography.
Mm-hmm. And I thoroughly enjoy the John Wick films because they are significantly brutal. The stories are not exactly unique, but they are simple enough that they are, respectable. First one, because all the basic synopsis of John Wick, Rem, so you're aware, is he is a former, like, super assassin, essentially. Worked for a massive assassin organization and went into retirement when he met the girl of his dreams, essentially.
Sure.
But unfortunately, after a time, she passes away due to illness and whatnot, and he's very sad. And knowing that she was going to die, the last gift she gives him after her death is a puppy, just so that he has something, a companion to care for and love. And unfortunately, a Russian mobster, he crosses paths with a Russian mobster at some point, tells him, John Wick rightfully tells him to fuck off. The mobster is very much like a daddy's boy, like, hey, my dad's a gang leader, so you should take me seriously type of thing. Breaks into his house, beats the shit out of him, and kills his dog. Prompting him to come out of retirement to completely wipe out this gang.
All right, so what is the relevance to today's podcast episode?
Well, Rem, today's podcast episode, we're going to be watching a new anime that has aired in the summer 2022 season, simply titled Lycoris Recoil. And the basic premise of this show is, well, people are calling it John Wick, but with anime girls.
Oh, fuck. All right.
And the basic premise is some truly dystopian shit. The basic premise is, hey, what if we took a bunch of orphan girls and trained them as super assassins to preemptively kill criminals before the crimes are fully committed?
You know what that sounds a lot like?
What's that, Rem?
Murder.
Yes! 100%, Rem. I'm glad you cracked the case.
That is profiling to justify murder.
Oh,
which,
100%.
Not
good.
Not great.
And this anime is talking about a little subsection of the group that is like, hey, we should stop criminals committing crimes, but we probably shouldn't kill them. and chooses to do their job while also, non-lethally suppressing the criminals.
Okay, good old Batman style. With the asterisk, sometimes Batman style.
Yes. And this show is wildly popular. It's currently on its 12th episode, and by the time this comes out, I believe the 13th episode, which is the last episode of the season, will come out. But by and large, people are really enjoying it because of the characters, as well as the action, and the fact that just the idea of these high school age girls running around shooting people, but without, too many of the consequences.
All right, so Shaun, with the whole high school girls getting into these crazy scenarios, secret agent style, instead of John Wick,
okay,
hear me out.
All right,
Totally Spies.
Okay, you say that, Rem. Not the most wrong comparison you've ever made. Because it's primarily about our two main characters, Chisato and Takina. Takina is like the John Wick equivalent, the very like low emotion, effective killing machine. And she gets transferred to Chisato's station, and Chisato is very much a very bubbly, Genki girl who tries to do things non-lethally. And goal is to kind of rehabilitate Takina to be, not as murdery and not as cold and calculating. Try to give her a little bit of emotion while also being her partner in solving crimes and whatnot. And before you ask, oh yes, there are some strong Yuri implications there.
Oh, of course, you gotta have that Yuri bait.
Yep. Whether or not it actually fully commits, I could not tell you. Because the research that I did for the show was only on the first 5 episodes. Because I only have so much time. But I felt that was more than enough to really go into it. And if they do go the full girls' love route, hell yeah, great, wonderful. They'd make a lovely murder couple. Excuse me, not technically murder, but like suppression couple. Look, there's some weird, dark, twisted themes in this show, but people by and large seem to really enjoy it, and we got a lot of emails asking us to cover it, so I figured,
well,
hey,
I have no idea what to expect. Let's do it.
Let's go straight into it then. Let's go watch some Lycoris Recoil.
Some people aren't ready for the fur life, officer. It's not like many other things where it's like, oh, did you see the way they looked at each other, right? No, like these two want to fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back after watching 5 whole episodes of 2022's Lycoris Recoil. And Rem, a lot of people seem to really enjoy this show and think it has merit as very entertaining, because watching girls with guns shoot people to death is very entertaining.
Yep.
The real question is, Rem, what are your thoughts on it, and do you think everybody who is a fan of this show is absolutely insane, or do they have some merit?
Well, Shaun, you got guns and cute girls doing cute things. So I feel like before I even get into any of my thoughts, you probably know if this is the show for you. Like, you know if you're in the demographic. You know if this is your kind of thing. I don't think anybody who thinks they're interested will end up changing their mind, nor do I think that anybody who's like, oh, that sounds awful, will change their mind.
So you're saying that as soon as people have a look at this, before they even watch, they'll be like, ah, yeah, I'm probably going to enjoy this, or ah, nah, this isn't for me, and there's no margin there, there's no gradient scale?
I suppose there's a small gradient scale, but I don't think a lot of people are going to be too terribly surprised by their own opinions about this show. Right? Mm-hmm. This isn't the kind of show where it's like, oh man, by all means, I should have disliked it or liked it. But instead, no, it's going to be like, oh yeah, seemed like it was down my alley. And it was. Like, those are the kinds of opinions we're going to have here.
Okay, interesting. Well, then we might as well get stuck into it, Rem.
Now, you will recall for me, I was unsure.
Based on what you just said on the podcast, Rem, I feel like that might be a prelude to what your opinion is gonna be.
I was unsure how I would feel one way or another, because I could see it going either way. And indeed, it went a little bit both ways. So let's jump into it. We open up with Chitase. She's getting ready, right? Her sensei calls her over to do something. We then witness a fantastic opening scene, because like the opening bit is just Chitase getting ready and shit, but this is the real opening bit. If anything, they should have just had this as the cold opening, where a bunch of Lycoris agents just go around murking motherfuckers, just killing a ton of people, in cold blood, and it just shoots from one to the next to the next, and it's very nonchalant, very casual about it all, which I love. Great scene, phenomenal moment.
Little casual dystopian murder society.
Yeah. I'll also note, some might think, what's sort of the point of the Lycoris, right? What's the point of getting a bunch of young women, training them to kill, sort of for government reasons, but also not for government reasons, and largely independently, but still very heavily bureaucratized? I think the answer ultimately is stop reading into it. We want a bunch of cute girls that also are badass killers. Like, that's the answer. That's...
Whatever do you mean, Rem? There are plenty of logical reasons to raise orphan girls into proper, like, trained John Wick style assassins.
It's not all. It's not all of them. That's just for the Allen Institute, which is a separate organization, okay? The Allen Institute is taking the poor orphans. The Lycoris, I don't know. Are they exclusively orphans?
Yeah,
I don't know their selection method.
Yeah, so Allen Institute is a separate entity that does work with Lycoris. Yeah, and they're a little more secretive, as it turns out. I will also say, like, when we recorded part 1 of this, I'd only watched 5 episodes. In the time between we recorded that and we have come back here, I watched the remaining 7 episodes just to...
Has your opinion changed in any significant way?
Oh, no, of course not. No, I knew I was going to have fun with the show no matter what.
So some of our listeners who have yet to watch the show may already feel a little bit inundated with terms such as the Lycoris and the Allen Institute, and there will be plenty more that I'll mostly just skip over.
Oh yeah,
because man, there's a lot going on, which normally I'm into, but I sort of feel like there doesn't need to be this much going on. It's very rare for me to say, I think you're overcomplicating things, but I think this show is overcomplicating things.
You're telling me.
Like...
You're telling me the show with some highly trained assassin girls running around killing people to prevent crimes, all in the name of a higher power with involved with multiple secret societies, AIs, and technology that doesn't make a whole lot of sense but is fun anyways, is overcomplicated? I never would have guessed, Rem.
Yeah, there were times, and albeit there weren't too many, but there were definitely times where I felt your stereotypical mother watching movie with their children, and I'm just like, wait, who is that again? Wait, what? Who is this? What's going on right now? Wait, what's this scene? Wait, why are they here? Like, there were a couple moments like that throughout the 5 episodes I watched.
Which is hilarious, because I'd never felt that way at all. And that is exactly what it's like when I try to watch anything with my mom, Rem. And not just like, I don't watch anime with my mom for obvious reasons. But like,
and I think there's like one flaw in that, like, I'm taking notes, right?
Right.
And so I'll look away from the screen for half a second, which in this show you not allowed to do.
No, you can't really do that. No, you gotta watch the episode and then be like, okay, what just happened? It's complex enough where you do kind of have to pay a little attention.
Yeah, but once again, all the complexity thus far, I don't feel like any of it has added anything. I don't think, like, if you throw me an Odd Taxi where there's so much going on, it's like, oh my god, there's so many levels and fascinating shit, and it all interweaves, and it's all adding to characters and theme and plot. It just sort of felt, it felt like the most complicated stuff was just like, yeah, isn't that neat? And I'm like, oh, if you like it, then I guess I'm happy for you. But There was never a moment where I was like, oh shit, that's super fascinating. I'm just like, oh, okay, sure.
I mean, it is all building to something, obviously, Rem, but I can understand why after 5 episodes you're a little overwhelmed by everything that's been going on, but not in a way that's going to keep you super, like, locked in. This is where you need to be.
And the problem is, because there's been a fuck ton of build, right?
Oh, yes.
So much build. And I'm not going to say there's been no resolution. In fact, there's been quite a bit of resolution. But for some reason, they don't give a shit about the things they've resolved, which we'll get into. They only care about what they are building. So they'll build and they'll be like, oh yeah, this is resolved, by the way. Anyway, moving on. And it's like, whoa, that's the important bit. That's the bit that matters. Let's continue so we can see examples of this. So we see a hostage situation going on. There was an arms deal gone wrong, and now one of the Lycoris has been captured and is being taken hostage. A bunch of other Lycoris are in on the firefight in this like abandoned warehouse. Meanwhile, Chidase's sensei, who's the only dude in the entire organization, from what we can see, he has a sniper rifle ready to wipe out the person currently holding the Lycoris hostage. But he's told to like not shoot or something. It seems like they're going to shoot the Lycoris and nobody is doing anything. So one of the girls, she decides to take a minigun that's just around. And
technically a light machine gun, Rem. We don't want to get the gun nerds after us.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, trust me, they will come after us.
I think they called it a minigun in the subtitles. To be fair,
I don't think they did, but it's possible.
I think they did.
Look, man, I'm just here to tell you, it's definitely an LMG. And like, anyway. I might be adjusting my glasses a bit too much for that right now, but I know several like gun history enthusiasts probably watch us and are like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah, machine gun makes a lot more sense. Yeah. So, anyway, takes a machine gun and indiscriminately fires everywhere. And easily could have killed the Lycoris, but her aim is just oh so perfect, which I feel like with a light machine gun
is very hard.
Your aim can only be so good.
Right. Which again, like you have to excuse her because that is kind of her. That's her like super John Wick 8 superpower is she's very good with guns. That's her thing.
But even being very good with guns, for this, you have to be very good with controlling and manipulating the laws of physics themselves.
Yep. It's okay, Rem. Sometimes shows can do that, Rem. Sometimes you just gotta be like, okay, realistically, there's no fucking way.
I guess
but it's fun.
My problem is always when shows try to blend realism with wacky nonsense, because you'll hit the realism, right? And it'll be like, hey, take this very seriously. This is really grounded and real. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then it's like, and then this happens. I'm like, that's not how it would work. And it's like, oh, we're having fun now. And I was like, oh, but what about the stuff before? And it was like, oh, no, take that very seriously. that we were being very sincere.
Let me put it this way, Ron. There's a reason I opened today's episode when we're talking about raw action films.
Yes.
I'm sure you figured that out very quickly.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, the girl who saved the day by ignoring orders, she is reprimanded. Her name is Takina. Oh, I cannot.
Takina.
It's not sounding right in my mouth. Takina. All right.
You could go with Inoue as well.
God no.
Takina.
All right, so good old Taki. Nice little spicy chip right there.
I mean, I guess she is, but like, not like personality-wise, just on the whole fact that she is a trained assassin. Like that's probably enough spice to qualify, but I don't know if it's worth shortening her name to a very popular, not very good chip, and I'm gonna get flack for that, but that's just because I don't.
All
like
right,
them.
So Taki ends up being placed with Chidase, who has also been removed from sort of the main program. There's a lot of info about the main program that really just does not fucking matter. Point is, Takina good old Taki. It's just easier that way. Good old Taki.
For you, you piece of shit American.
She's placed on sort of probation with Chitase. Chitase, meanwhile, it's like, oh, she's super god tier at everything. Why is she on probation? And it's because she doesn't kill anybody. That's her big thing. But she doesn't have like as much of a problem with other people killing other people. Like, she prefers you don't. Like, Taki is super ruthless killer, and Chitase is like, it'd be awesome if you didn't. But like, that's that's the extent, which I feel like if it's a moral thing, it should be a bigger deal.
Yeah. Well,
but instead it's just like, you could have killed him, but don't worry, I'll go help his wounds out. It's all fine. Is it a moral thing, or is it just a personality quirk? Like,
look, man.
If it's a moral thing, this should be a big fucking deal. Like, it's like going vegetarian, but just for health reasons. It's like, if it was moral, oh yeah, no one should eat meat. But if it's just for health reasons, oh, you're free. Go for it. You can. No, I'm not going to kill people, but if you feel like killing people, you can. Yeah.
Vegetarians and contract killers are in the same boat, is what you're saying, Rem.
For the sake of the analogy, I think it works. But yeah, so that's just a weird thing. It's a weird, and yeah, I guess it is just mostly a personality quirk, which is odd. Nonetheless, we see. Here's I'm just gonna exposition dump it to all of them now instead of piecemealing it, because so there was an arms deal that they tried to interrupt, but as it turns out, the arms deal wasn't what they interrupted. Instead, they interrupted a fake arms deal. The real arms deal happened hours before, and they're trying to find the arms deal that happened earlier. They're able to locate a photo that shows the arms deal going on in the background a few hours earlier, but they're trying to figure out, hey, what's the deal with that? They have not expressed the relevance to this, but it's been like the second most important part of every single fucking episode. Which would be awesome if, like, I knew what the point was.
The point is that they're trying to track down, the thousands of guns that got.
Yeah, but why? Who cares?
The organization cares, clearly.
No, it's like watching a whodunit, right? And they're like, shit, who misplaced the cutlery? We're gonna figure it out. And I'm like, what? Okay, we can figure it out. And it's like, all right, clues point to this one. I'm like, hey, quick question. Why are we locating the cutlery, though? Like, why?
And the other reason...
Don't get me wrong. I'm sure in episode fucking 10, it'll be like, oh, here's where all the guns are, and here's why it's super important. It's actually because of the Lycoris organization being corrupt inwardly or some bullshit like that, whatever. But right now, I don't give a damn! And it's been 5 episodes, and it's not that it's just been like, oh, this passive in the background thing. No, it has been wildly important every single episode, but it's not told us why we should give a single shit. It's like, all these murders, don't worry about them. They're irrelevant. But these guns... where the fuck are the guns?
It's also the inciting incident that made it so that Takina was, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Not expelled, but suspended from the main force and
but here's the thing, all right?
Side branch, and there's some other sub things going on there.
Uncle Ben dying is the inciting incident for Spider-Man to start whooping ass, right? And start being all Spidey.
I feel like they're simplifying Uncle Ben a little bit, but that's okay.
But that doesn't mean that the rest of the story is all exclusively about that. It's like, no, it jumpstarts things, and then it's relevant for that stage, and then they move the fuck on. Why is it still relevant? And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are reasons. I'm sure people who have watched it all are like, oh, it's relevant because of X, Y, and Z. Then why hasn't that been clarified to me? Why? Right now, it's just I'm just like, why do you keep bringing it up, man? I don't give a shit. And maybe on a rewatch, when you know the relevance, it's super cool. Till then, shut the fuck up. Continuing on. We also learn that there's... all right, so then there's the Allen Institute, and there's this one dude from the Allen Institute who works closely with Lycoris, specifically with Mika, who is the sensei of Chitase and Taki, and he works with them, but he's also trying to use his resources to kill a hacker named Walnut, and he's working with a hacker named Robata, both of which wear crazy outfits matching their name. And he tries to kill Walnut, and Robata helps him, and I don't give a shit about any of them either, if I'm being honest. All right, so now I've covered the two stories that I think are irrelevant and I don't like. All the stuff with the hackers and the Allen Institute, don't give a shit about. All the stuff about the arms deal, I really don't give a shit about. Combined, that takes about 40%, sometimes 50% of the show's runtime, either actively or in the background. Now let's talk about, finally, what's actually pretty decent, usually. Chidasei and Taki. Oh, Remington, those are the main characters. Great news. Yes. And all I'm saying is, I want more of them, less of all the bullshit. Like, they have a fun dynamic. They're fun together. They're enjoyable. It's a good time to see what they're getting up to. I don't give a shit about basically anything else this show has given to me. Everything else is trash. So let's get into a little bit of the Taki and Chidasei, now that I've covered like 40% of the first 5 episodes.
That makes sense.
So they have a client that they're going to be bodyguarding, and they protect them, and we learn that Chidasei doesn't try and kill people, and she uses rubber bullets, which aren't non-lethal. They are less than lethal, but they can still be very lethal, but don't worry about that.
Look, just because they can pierce armor and still be non-lethal, don't worry about it.
There's in one instance, she goes right up point blank to a motherfucker and shoots multiple rounds of rubber bullets into them at point blank range.
Yeah, right into their gut as well, which is a very soft spot. Like,
but they're fine. Don't worry about them.
They're fine. Look. Hey, she didn't shoot them in the eye. That's what's important.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so Taki is more stoic, more by the books, but Chidasei is able to break her out of her shell a little bit, right? And also, you mentioned that there were some Yuri baiting elements, right? Well, we don't know if it's Yuri bait or just Yuri yet. And let me say, if the romantic tension is never explicitly acknowledged, then that's really shitty storytelling. And it is textbook queer baiting. Because it's not that like, it's not like many other things where it's like, oh, did you see the way they looked at each other, right? Mm-hmm. No, like these two want to fuck. These two are super into each other. They are crushing hardcore. And if the show doesn't acknowledge that, that is poor and lazy and exploitative storytelling. So I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know which one it is yet. Shaun presumably knows. Shaun knows the answer.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything.
So he knows whether it's shitty and exploitative and lazy, or if it's just a nice little romantic tale. I'm not even saying they need to end up together, but like one of them needs to confess their feelings to the other. It needs to. Continuing on, they go on a handful of different misadventures trying to protect other clients. At one point, they're met with a bunch of opposition, hail of bullets. They dodge every single bullet because they're just that good. And Chidasei's thing is that she can just dodge any bullet no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The explanation behind it is very action movie. She has incredibly good eyesight to the point where she can see where the gun is being aimed at, and is very good at dodging that, and based on instinct can really just kind of sidestep most bullets, and the better marksman you are, theoretically, the harder it is for you to hit her, is the idea behind it. It's
just let them be magic. You already have this organization. Let them all have magic powers. They just each have one little superpower. That explains how Chidasei can always dodge, how Taki can always hit. I mean, fucking Walnut, who will become a member of the group in just a moment, and turns out, we think that she's a nerdy adult guy, but actually she's just a kawaii little girl. Oh, what a twist. Which I hate how often they're like, it's a girl, what a twist. Isn't it crazy? Women can do stuff too. Oh, okay. Shouldn't. I don't know, man. I feel like you should rely on that twist a lot less. But she uses Walnut's whole thing is that she uses technology as if it were magic. That good old trope where it's the same you see in like Sword Art Online with what the fuck is the daughter fairy?
Oh, that would be Yui.
Yui. It's the Yui principle of it's technology, therefore I can quote unquote hack it, which means I can do anything. 'Cause technology. Once again, annoying, upsetting bullshit. But continuing on.
Well, fun fact, this is made by the same studio that makes SAO.
Oh,
So,
fuck.
but that doesn't really mean much, Rem, because it's also one of the biggest anime studios, and we've covered
Yeah.
several good shows.
Yeah,
by them
fair,
as well.
fair. Continuing on. Oh, wait. As we're on that tangent, though, of using technology as magic, at one point, the girl Walnut, who she has a name, I'm just calling her Walnut, it's simpler.
Yeah, because Kurumi is so hard.
We were introduced to her as Walnut, and I shall continue as thus. Walnut, at one point, straight up CSI enhances a photo.
Yeah.
Like, 100%. No comparison needed. That's just exact. She looks at a grainy photo, hits a couple buttons, enhances, and is like, oh, you couldn't do that? Oh, this show's testing me. But as I said, the stuff with Taki and Chitase is actually pretty solid. As they're going on, as they're chatting and stuff, as they're flirting, it's enjoyable. As they're going on missions, at one point they go to an aquarium. It was a lovely scene. Taki is like, this feels irrelevant and unimportant. Meanwhile, Chitase is like, look at me, I'm an eel. And towards the end, Taki pretends that she's a fish and they join together and it's cute and adorable. Good stuff, right? That really remove all the action movie stuff from this because none of it is good. I'm trying to think of any of it that it's good. I don't think so. Most of the characters are fine. The main two characters are pretty good. All the action movie stuff is trash, unfortunately. Also, the pacing is very weird. So I mentioned earlier that they focus a lot on build-up, but then for the resolutions, they don't care. Especially what I'm thinking of is that at one point, so Taki has been suspended, right? She's kicked out of the DA, the main Lycoris station, but she's hoping that she'll be able to get back in, right? Which could be this could be one of her driving qualities in the first half of the show, right? So that's completely resolved in episode 3, where episode 3, they're like, hey, we're going to the DA to see all the other Lycoris stuff, talk with the commander and stuff. All right, they show up, they meet former partners and stuff, meet the commander, chat with them. Commander is immediately, well, everybody's just like, hey, Taki, you're never going to come back, actually. And then Taki and Chitase go on a mock battle versus the former partner and the former partner's new partner, and they of course win. And that's the whole thing, which does not feel rewarding. Like it's only episode 3, but it's also up to episode 3 all of Taki's character, and it could have been a proper arc. At least split episode 3 into 2 episodes, where one, they go there, they hang out, they're working on stuff. We meet other characters properly rather than in the very shitty manner we meet them. And then at the end of episode 3 is when it's revealed, hey, you're still going to be suspended, blah, blah, blah. Then episode 4, you mostly just have the battle, actually make it an interesting one, as opposed to making the other two fighting Taki and Chitase look like complete chumps. Yeah, I don't know. It could have been a really neat moment. It wasn't. It felt very flat. Long story short, this should have just been a Yuri romance drama.
Honestly, I enjoyed it. I had fun with it, Rem. Like, I agree with everything you're saying here, but all in all, that didn't bother me all that much. I still enjoyed a lot of the fun, mindless action scenes and some of the weird, convoluted action movie plot, because it felt like a popcorn show to me, and I enjoyed that quite a bit.
But the problem is, it felt like the equivalent of what this show is, right? It is, it's one of those games that has an amazing story, a delightful story, but the gameplay actually ain't that great. So you'll play the game to get to the cutscenes where the story stuff happens, right? But then you get into more gameplay and you're like, I don't actually... I'm not playing this because it's fun. I'm playing this to get to the cutscenes. That's what I felt like here. The action scenes, they weren't interesting or even too enjoyable. I've seen better action scenes. They weren't bad, but they were fine. The way too much exposition about everything was bad. The pacing was bad. But the characters are solid. I don't know why they decide to inundate me with so much bullshit when they had a good core going on.
Well, the main reason for that, Rem, is probably due to the fact that this is a completely original anime. As in, there's no source material they pulled from, and they only had the 13 episodes to do what they could. Which can be good, but the problem is, sometimes it's not. Like, we saw it with Odd Taxi, it went perfectly great. Whereas this one, you're kind of right. They had an idea for a story, but only 13 episodes to shove every single idea and every theme they wanted to into it, and did not get as much room to breathe as it could have needed.
Yeah, it very much feels like they had the story all planned out, right?
Right.
And instead of revising it or adapting it to make it work in 13 episodes, they were like, no, all of this is going in there. And it is to its own detriment. All things considered, I think it's still fairly enjoyable. I'm probably giving it like a 5.5, which is on the good scale for me. That is above neutral for me.
But it is a scathing review for any weeb out there.
Hey, if you're like, oh, don't insult my waifus, I didn't. Your waifus are the best part of the show, okay? Assuming asterisk that they get together. If they don't, then the one good quality of this show is also shit. Look, it's a 5.5. If they never acknowledge explicitly the romantic tension between them, at least by having one confess their feelings or something, that would drop to like a 3.5, I think.
Oh, Jesus.
Because it would mean that nothing matters in this show. And there's some faint enjoyment along the way, but it is fleeting and ephemeral.
Well, fuck. I wasn't expecting this to end on such a dour note.
So yeah, I don't know what my own rating of this show is, 5.5 or 3.5. But, Shaun, you know what my true rating for this is, and many of the listeners who've already seen the show, they know what my true rating of this is. How fun.
Oh, dear. With that in mind, what do you think the weebs have rated it as?
Oh, okay, easy 8. 8 point... Oh, see, and it's harder once you get higher than 8 because
it's a new show as well. It's a new show as well, so low numbers. Not to mention that it just barely finished as of the 24th.
8.29.
Final answer?
8.28.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I'll go with 8.28.
Well, Lycoris Recoil, with a whopping 87,000 ratings, so not too many. But again, new show, that's to be expected. Is sitting nice and pretty at 8.34.
Oh,
you were close. You were very close. And scrolling through a lot of the reviews, more or less people are like, hey, these characters are like, it is very much the characters that really carry the show. Which
is why it's mind-blowing that they spend, frankly, an obscene amount of time on meaningless bullshit. Like, look, I understand the creator of this show is very proud of their world building. Maybe they shouldn't be.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Do I know anything about them? No, I do
friends
not.
with them. It was me all along.
Their other works. It was you. Yes. Ren, this is a chance for you to really, really self-shame yourself. Oh, God. Man. I just looked at who directed it and what they some of the other things they directed, and it is a mixed fucking bag, my dude. Let me just tell you that right now. Yeah, because there's one or two good things here. Like the director is a fellow by the name of Shingo Adachi, and they have done some good stuff, some stuff that we haven't covered. But unfortunately, their highest accolade here of things we have covered is unfortunately Sword Art Online. So it's a little more connected than you.
Well,
so I don't know if he's the original story guy for it. I don't think he is. I think he's just the lead. He's just the director and whatnot. Let's see. Director, episode director, script, storyboard, series composition. Okay, so it might be a lot of his fault.
I should have known from all of the jargon world building.
Yep. And let's see. There's also he seems to be the main staff dude. There's also the original creator is someone listed as Asara or Asaura probably is how you say that. And I don't recognize any of their other stuff. So it's hard to say. It's all light novels though, so it could go either way. Point is, Rem, there's some shared DNA here, and whether or not that's a good thing is evident. I feel like. But I personally quite enjoy the show because I'm really willing to let myself ignore a lot of the flaws of it. Because I'll be with you, Rem. I know it's just about every single flaw you pointed out as well. But I was like, yeah, it's probably fine. Compared to all the other stuff I watched this season, like, I'm willing to let it slide.
I feel like I
is my mindset going into this.
In an alternate universe, I'm rating this show like 8.5 or some shit. If it just sort of nailed everything it was going for. Because I like the ideas. A lot of the ideas are neat, unfortunately.
Well, we'll just have to see how angry the emails are about this, because I will say this is one of the most popular shows of this season, which, compared to what else I've had to look through this season, is probably fair. Trust me, man, it's been rough. It's been rough researching lately. But with that in mind, Rem, I guess the final question is there any chance you want to watch some more Lycoris Recoil with me?
Maybe if there's nothing else to watch.
Fuck, dude, that's scathing and painful.
It's technically a yes!
With that, yeah. But so are false positives on, tests, my guy. So with that in mind, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoy Rem having just a major conflict of interest when it comes to cute girls doing cute things and lots of jargon, then please head on over to wherever you get your podcast and leave us a review, whether that be Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere really. We do read every single one, and we appreciate them even more. And if that is still not enough for you, you can head on over to twitch.tv/animeoutofcontext, where you can watch myself, Dylan, and Remington play video games. Yes, not great, but we do play them, and that is technically correct. And if that is still not enough for you, you can head on over to patreon.com/animeoutofcontext, where you can access all kinds of lovely bonus material, including having the opportunity to be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who are we thanking this week?
I want to sneeze and I can't.
This is your punishment for
I was trying to get
streams.
it out of the way before you finished talking, and it just never came.
That's a shame. Don't. I know what you're about to say. Don't. That's a bad joke, Rem. That's a bad joke. That's terrible.
I could have said anything. You don't know. No one can know for sure.
I have a strong suspicion, Rem. There's a specific brand of joke that you could make there, and I know you were itching. You were salivating at it. You were on the edge, and it ain't happening.
Oh, all right. We as always, we want to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifus, who, silent in the night, are shooting us straight through the eyes. And on that list, we have Zombie Stomp 91, Soul Eater is Life, Xanax. You did it, Rem. You finally did it. You pronounced my username correctly. Now to see if you're consistent. Oh, shit. When did it? The problem is,
can't remember,
it wouldn't have been last week. Week before.
It would have been the week before.
Or maybe even the one before that.
Do you remember how you pronounced it then?
Spicidites? No.
No. You fucked it already, Rem. Good fucking work.
Sort of like Poseidon.
Man,
Spicitis. I'm going to go with that. Spicitis. Because the problem is I want to always emphasize the first bit, but maybe it's just put emphasis on the second bit. Yandere Neko, why Shaun, why Shaun? Whomstuff, Walk Me Home Gently, Way to Shell, Turtle Enough for the Turtle Club, Trenton Farrell, Travis J. Humphrey, Totally God, Tim Westy, The Susanator, The Big Bean, Take Me Cheeks, Struggle Best Celia, Stacy's Mom, Sonic X is my favorite anime, Silent Secondary, Shoujo Addict who doesn't need help, just more manga to read and anime to watch, Sean's Hot Throbbing Gumdrop Buttons, Shaun still use Internet Explorer. Sounds like he must like it nice and slow. Shaun, read this as Joey Wheeler. All right, I have a patented method, all right?
Okay.
Hey, Oogs. All right, so start out Joey Wheeler. And then from Joey Wheeler, then you think...
Your patented method is bad, and you really should feel bad, Rem. You gotta like recall that patent. Like nobody's gonna accept it. No. I'm gonna have a stroke.
No, okay, that's it. I'm not even gonna try. Yul Kim, repeat. Shaun, punish Rem and make him watch Excel World. Shaun, please know this isn't a call out on your improv skills. Burning Kabaddi is more like burning a body. Shaun, new cyberpunk anime is incredible. Please check it out. I also know that a mutual friend of ours is going to specifically talk to Shaun because they want him to show that to me.
I'm not surprised in the slightest. I've heard nothing but great things about
but
it, and
everything's on his list.
I'm gonna watch it.
This is. Let me warn y'all.
Yeah.
It's gonna go the same way as Arcane, y'all. So don't get your hopes up. School days included for the fields. Salted Pretzel, Ross Palmer, Brandon Williams. Rem crushes my soul. Rem gave me depression. No waifu, no lifu. Nitsaira. Nick Harvey, Makeka7 Hierto, Mexican Gone Freaks, Matthew Drum says Dylan's an angel, Matt02 Max, Lizzie Anthea, King Rich Rock, Casey Mosley, Cassidy, Just a Traveler, Jax, Jam Hands. If you trigger a choice climax for a stock in White Swartz, the card in the waiting room goes in the stock first. I, Remington, am a Kappa and love to steal everyone's butt balls. I want to feast on your despair. Now give me a cool and interesting anime related pun name, you Irish fuck.
Son of a bitch. That's not a pun name. That's me cursing.
Shaun is strongly against people with foot fetishes, which is why when he watches this show, he prefers finger tay.
Yeah, it's not easy.
And it wasn't even my job, but there it was.
Like it's hard, man. It's hard. Like I think I'm okay at improv, generally speaking.
You're supposed to be better at puns than you are at
specific
improv.
as that.
And besides, it's not improv.
Yes.
You know this is coming. This isn't improv. Hey, you're going to be asked this question next week. I hope I'm good at improv. What are you talking about?
Jesus Christ.
It's like, we have a midterm coming up. Oh, well, thankfully I'm good at improv. Just do the work beforehand.
Well, here you go. Congratulations. You are now substitute Saul Reaper. There you go.
All right, I want Rem to ruin Darling in the Franks for me. I took my family to the orchestra, but we had to leave immediately. Too much sex and violence. That's really good. I like that. I, Remington, am just a high school girl with the power of God and bitchiness on my side. I found a jar labeled Shaun's Secret Jar of Daddy's Colt Cum. I forgot to change my username, but I'm back with even worse names. Be scared, motherfuckers. I am. I do not pretend to know the future, says Miska, subtly hiding that she does pretend to know how to pronounce poignant. That's a good one. Hunter Davies, Glenn Michael Dolan, Gay Bootsex, Fuck of Love Foxen Boy, Ferdy the Birdie, Farmer Weeb's Bad Pickup Line of the Week, are you a British museum because you stole my heart? And specifically, will not give it back when asked. Fantide.
No matter how reasonable
Extreme
it
Cobra,
is.
Elite Knight, Duck, Drink Milk to Prevent Wobbly Bones, not a conspiracy. Dickite Mimicin, Picture and Transplantifluorethyl Trifluorophosphate, also known as FAP, and finally Trans 1,4-bis for Pridoleth. Crumb Sluts Bakery, now try our Crumb Guzzlers. Creed 13, Shy 900, Cheese Monkey, Cage in the House, Rock Hard for Geodudes, Blood for the Blood God, Skulls for the Skull Throne, Big Blue Bear Boy, and when that final moment came to pass like Christ, I came riding on an ass. Elise Howard, AJ Tunnels, AJ Honey, A Days, and now we go to the Boy Wizard tier where you get the task you avoided by writing Patreon name, Chris, you get planning your fiance's B-Day. And we go to the Boy Wizard tier where everybody is going to be paired up with a famous, fictional secret agent of some variety. All right, we start with you. Yu Hakusho is the best tournament arc anime. And you are going to be paired, we're going to start off, you know, I'll give it, to you. You get your? Is that their name?
From Spy Family?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your.
Hey. So there you go. You get the weeby one.
One of them.
Then we get warning, you're 799 episodes away. You get Austin Powers.
Wow, that is a
Vin-
massive dip in quality. Holy shit.
Excuse me?
Rem, you've never seen an Austin Powers movie. You don't understand.
I have seen the Austin Powers movie.
That makes me more angry than you could possibly imagine.
Similar to Master of Disguise. For some reason, I was shown them when I was like 7.
Which, no, you really shouldn't have been.
Which, yeah, it's saying a lot about my upbringing. Vincent Calabrese, you get George Smiley. Don't know who the fuck that is.
George Smiley?
I don't know. Great Buttball of Despair, you get Ethan Hunt.
I know that one.
I don't. Shaun, you're my idol, and just like you, I also like Boku no Pico. You are going to get
Ethan Hunt.
Jack Ryan.
Yeah, Ethan Hunt is the main character of Mission Impossible, Rem.
Oh, of course. You get Jack Ryan.
I think I know that one as well.
Rat Visa the Finish, you get Natasha Romanoff, also known as Black Widow. Pour a glass of whiskey and listen to AOC. Also, thanks for the rum recommendation, Dylan. Or as they put it, rum recommendation. He spelled the word wrong. Fortunately, we never pronounce anything wrong on the podcast.
Never.
You get Maxwell Smart.
Definitely not.
I don't know if he's related to George or not. Then we go to Please Watch a Healer Girl, a cute slice of life about using music to heal people, also Rem is still a girl. You get Perry the Platypus.
That's a great one.
My Offer Ate My Dog, you get Jason Bourne. Momo the Griff, you get Simon Templar. Mike got his Overlord review, you get Emma Peel. Miguel DeLeon, you get all of the girls from Totally Spies. Maitawa says first 3 arcs of Bakemonogatari is just 8 episodes. You get Michael Weston.
Oh, yeah.
Latinos Eats Death for breakfast while waiting for April Fool's wildcard. Just you fucking wait. You get Sydney Bristow. Inuyasha's my favorite cryptid. You get Sterling Archer. Hey Rem, do a backflip. You get Boris and Natasha. From the Rocky and Bullwinkle show specifically.
Ah, okay. That I now understand.
Go ahead, call the cops who won't silence the voices. They're getting louder. Please send help. You get Jack Bauer.
Okay.
Crimson Reapers, just because of the scythes. You get Napoleon Solo. Beethoven 1201. You get Peggy Carter. Ah, fuck, the Ginger Irish Fox is at the glory hole again. You get that. Chuck Bartowski.
I hate that.
Anime Girl. You get Susan Cooper. Animated Z. You get James Bond.
Oh, wow, bigin'.
Animated Z. You get Harry Matheson. Matheson? Matheson? I don't know, man. I'm bad at this shit. And last but not least,
I have never. Apparently, there's a TV show called Homeland.
And last but not least, Aaron Hegland, you get Varys from Game of Thrones.
Oh yes, I was like, I was very much thinking, what spy is named after the guy from Game of Thrones? But
all right, next we move on to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where everybody will be given a secret mission to accomplish before next week. From Shaun as Joey Wheeler, and I will explain why that mission is so important.
Jesus Christ, I don't know if we can do that. I feel like that's a very strange call to action.
Well, it's only strange if you make it strange, Shaun. I'm excited to see what secret missions you assign them for as Joey Wheeler. We start by Taken by the Gay Unicorn Biker.
All right, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to compliment 3 people close to you. Genuine compliments, none of that fake shit.
All right, and so this mission, it's assigned so you can build up their self-esteem only to crush it later.
Jesus Christ.
All right? I know, real fucked up, Shaun, but hey, that's what you chose. Next up, Shaun, blood cell's going to need that suicide prevention hotline because apparently I'm paying $50 a month for death threats. I know, some of the things Shaun says.
Oh, God, I forgot how much money people pay. Oh, God.
So, Shaun, what's our secret mission?
Your secret mission, should you choose to accept it, is, you know what? Bake a lovely treat for yourself or somebody else.
And then poison.
No!
No, you don't poison this one. You bake them a lovely treat to get them into a pattern of complacency accepting baked goods.
And
so
then
that later. Next up, Raftalia's my anime waifu will return in September.
Let's see, your secret mission.
They don't have the option to accept it, apparently.
I mean, some of these just ain't optional, Your secret mission is you've got to, if you haven't, start reading One Piece. At least, I'd say, 60 chapters, just to see how well that goes for you.
So this is training for when eventually when we get the heat death of the universe, but you survive because you made the wish to never die, but you weren't prepared to then, once there's no earth and nothing around you, so you're the only thing in existence. This is so that you are used to repetitive tasks that never end. Next up we got Pizza Cotton Candy is my waifu.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is gonna be, you're gonna have to rate all the James Bond movies based on their titles alone, because quite frankly, some of them are concerning, and really, it'd be nice to have an objective list.
The reason you have been assigned this task, is because if Pizza Cotton Candy is your waifu, you clearly have low standards. So here's a bunch of James Bond bullshit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I know. Frankly, I think that's a bit mean on Shaun's behalf, but...
Oh, yeah, on my behalf.
Next up, we have Magic Ice Ball.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to, you know what? Finally do the laundry. It's been sitting on your chair for God knows how long. You gotta take care of it. Either hang it up or rewash it. Take your pick. It's time to get that taken care of, man. And it's only a secret.
Because right now... the one outfit that you're wearing that you're like, oh, I don't need to clean this, someone's impersonating you with that outfit because they've seen you wear it for an entire week. They think, oh, this will be easy. So you're going to shift it up on them, change it up, and then they're going to be like, ah, shit. Next up, we have Dim and Ray 13.
Your mission, and unfortunately you don't get to choose on this one. This is one you're just going to have to do. Pick 3 random Scooby-Doo movies and watch them, and please let us know how good they are.
So the reason that you have to watch this is Shaun is hoping that you'll fall in love with Shaggy, who he represents.
Oh, wait, oh God, I didn't think about that. Oh no.
He's trying to get a super fan going because he really wants people to draw more lewd fan art of him, and he thinks this is a nice subliminal way to do that.
I don't think that's true at all. Like, if any...
Remember, our P.O. Box is open if you want to send some lewd fan art of Shaun. Not Remington, importantly. Not Remington. Remington doesn't appreciate that. Shaun loves that
I
shit.
don't know if that's true at all. The amount of times people have drawn me as a very hot anime girl it's more than once. Let's just put it that way. And I still do not know how to feel about that.
And you're damn right he puts all of them into his spank bank.
I do not.
He's not above wanking to himself, all right?
What kind of Rule 63 bullshit is this? I'm not that narcissistic.
Next up, we got My Dear Old Mom.
Oh, man, what a great way to follow that up. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to, give your son a call every once in a while and tell him that you care. Pretty easy, right?
Yeah, no, it's pretty self-evident, I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, I mean, come on. I don't know if your mom actually listens. Probably not. But if she does, there you go.
She does.
She does?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, God. If that's the case.
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Shaun. Did you think my mom is spending $50 a month just because she loves her child? Oh, no. It's to support content she enjoys, okay?
Oh, no. Oh, God, I've said some awful things. Holy shit.
Next up, we have Charles C. Nussbaum.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is, at some point, visit the Declaration of Independence. Don't steal it, though, because if you do, that's illegal. And we can't condone that. But you should visit it, just to see where everything went wrong.
Yeah, and the purpose behind this, I really want to emphasize, is to not steal it, all right?
No.
Definitely, I want to repeat, the purpose of this exercise is to not steal the Declaration of Independence. You getting my meaning? All right. And last but not least, going above and beyond, we have none other than Dylan Hayden.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to, it's gonna be a rough one. It's gonna be tricky. Go a whole week without fast food and try cooking yourself. Because, I'll tell you right now, it makes a world of difference.
Because this is to get you into auto-cannibalism after you cook yourself. And to perish from this mortal plane. Which, it's to show your devotion to the cause, I suppose. I didn't want this mission to happen. I think, I love you, Dylan Hayden, but I don't make the mission, so you gotta cook yourself.
Oh, man. Hey, you see that shark beneath us, Rem? It is very far away because I think we really leapt over it this time.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. If you want to reach out, whether it's for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can tweet us at AnimeConPod on Twitter, or send an email over onto animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We love and appreciate you very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister.
How's my favorite MILF hunter? Are you happy, sad, angry, or cuddly, man?
I'm horny. Okay, ready to begin? Lycoris. Sounds like a disease. What bit of you has fallen off this time, Rem?
I mean, you know.
I do. Oh no.
It fell off inside of you.
Jesus. Okay, that's a bit much.
It could mean anything.
I don't like where any of that's going, bro. And like all of that, everything that you just said makes me incredibly uncomfortable. So with that in mind, let's just get started in 3, 2, 1.